That breaking news is out of West Ashley this evening. A water rescue is underway after reports of a missing fisherman, according to the Charleston County Sheriff's Office. Want to give you a live look at the scene on Savannah Highway right near Dobbin Road. Emergency responders are focusing on Long Branch Creek right near the bar on the river. Now, this was first reported at about 4:30 this afternoon, and as you can see, there are still multiple agencies still on scene, and crime scene tape is now up. The Sheriff's Office says this portion of roadway is going to be shut down for the foreseeable future, and drivers are asked to use an alternate route. The Sheriff's Office has set up a media staging area, and of course we'll bring you any kind of news conference to you live. Now, this is a very heavily traveled area of Savannah Highway and has caused quite the backup. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh for a look at how traffic is right now. Hey, Bill.
I just can't wait to get out of here.
The phone calls the Charleston County Sheriff's Office didn't want you to hear.
And she's like trying to help me out. You don't need, I don't want you in here, you should be with your family.
The sheriff accused of playing favorites toward a DUI suspect accused of killing a bride hours after her wedding.
She's the head deputy, whatever. She was really nice too.
After a live 5 battle in the courtroom, we have obtained hours of calls and videos.
We don't care what happened, we care only about you.
A DUI suspect denied bond and still behind bars.
Dad, what is it?
Live 5 News at 11 starts right now.
Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
Tonight, we are bringing you a first look of jailhouse calls involving a suspect in a deadly crash that killed a newlywed bride on Folly Beach back in April. 25-year-old Jamie Komorowski is charged with 3 counts of felony DUI. On April 28th, authorities say Komorowski rear-ended a golf cart on East Ashley Avenue. One passenger, Samantha Miller, who had just gotten married earlier in the evening, died in that crash. Her groom, Eric Hutchinson, and 2 of Hutchinson's family members were injured in the crash. Reports state that Komorowski was going 65 miles per hour when the posted speed island-wide is 25 miles per hour. A blood toxicology report shows that Komorowski's blood alcohol level was .261 the night of the crash, more than 3 times the legal limit in South Carolina. Well, in newly released footage, Jamie Komorowski can be heard discussing many things, including a visit from Charleston County Sheriff Kristen Graziano. Emily Johnson joining us now. And Emily, what more can you tell us about the allegations against the sheriff? You could hear Komorowski referring to meetings with Sheriff Kristen Graziano. Live 5 News received a separate FOIA today involving emails sent by Graziano. Those emails show several people reached out to the sheriff's office with concerns about special treatment after reading an article from a New York publication. In an email sent on May 22nd, Graziano told one person that no special treatment had occurred and that it is, quote, our responsibility to ensure proper care for those people no matter who they are. In the same email, she says she has hundreds of residents in her facility that she is responsible for and makes every effort to accommodate reasonable needs and requests. The sheriff's office provided a statement to Live 5 News today that reads, the sheriff does not have a special relationship with Komorowski's attorney. It is a professional relationship. What has been surmised by some of the Komorowski's video calls is not accurate in regard to any sort of special treatment. Some may think the situation is special, but it is not. Live 5 also received badge swipes that the sheriff made during the time Komorowski has been in jail. Those documents show Graziano has only visited with Komorowski twice and not at all since May. The sheriff's office says Graziano offered to set up a visit with the mental health director during that first encounter, and the second interaction was escorting the director to Komorowski's room before leaving. President Biden talked about growing the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, which he says benefits everyone, including the wealthy. Biden says companies have invested $500 billion in manufacturing and clean energy investments in the United States since the beginning of his administration, $11 billion of which is right here in South Carolina.
Since I took office, we've attracted $500 billion, $497 billion in private investment in American manufacturing, both here and around the world. It's historic. And it's Bidenomics in action. Instead of exporting jobs to cheaper labor costs, what we did for decades, we're creating jobs here and exporting American product, not jobs. That's the story here in South Carolina.
Now, part of that investment is with the company In Phase Energy and their new partnership with Flex Manufacturing. Our Meredith Blair joining us live. Meredith, what do we know about this new partnership?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You are taking a live listen in to South Carolina retired Supreme Court Chief Justice Jean Toles. She has now ruled that Alec Murdaugh will not be getting a new trial in the murder conviction of his wife and his son back in 2021. This has been a days-long trial. We started on Friday hearing from the first juror. Today we heard from 11 jurors before the start of the lunch recess. Then when we came back, we heard from Becky Hill herself, who took to the stand. She is the Colleton County Clerk of Court, who is really at the center of this request for a new trial. The defense saying that she made improper comments and tampered with the jury. Now, Chief Justice Toles said that Hill, in fact, was not a credible witness. She said that she became a siren to celebrity, already talking about a possible book before the trial actually started. We started this trial, if you will recall, more than a year ago is when jury selection and the trial actually started at the end of January. It was 6 long weeks. And today, most of those jurors came back, and Chief Justice Toles thanked them for continuing their duty in this case. But she did find that even with Hill making certain comments in reference to Murdaugh's possible guilt, that she did not persuade the jurors in their verdict of finding him unanimously guilty. We are told that the defense will have 4 days to submit any action that they would like to take. We're also told that we will be hearing from the defense. Now, this all comes as the federal appeals in this case was put on pause so that this request for a new trial in the state of South Carolina to the Supreme Court, this could move forward. But again, Chief Justice Toles has ruled that Alec Murdaugh will not be getting a new trial. We will have much more from inside the courtroom. Our Blair Sable has been there live throughout the day, coming up in our next half hour. Reporting live in Columbia, I'm Michal Higdon. We'll be back after this. The pilot was the only person on board the helicopter when it crashed. They were immediately taken to the hospital where they are expected to be okay. They suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Now, the sheriff's office is not releasing the pilot's name at this point in time, but we do know that the pilot reported a malfunction with the helicopter before it went down just a short time later, close to where the C-13s are parked at Joint Base Charleston. That helicopter has severe damage. Let's go out to our Ray Arena. The driver involved in a 2022 DUI crash that left a downtown pedicab driver seriously injured was sentenced to 1 year in jail today by Judge Bentley Price. Andrew Melton Dimitri pled guilty to DUI charges for hitting Travis Odell, but took the Alford plea for fleeing the scene of the crime, which means he accepted the sentencing but did not admit guilt. Our Emily Johnson sat in the courtroom today as both Odell and Dimitri addressed the court. Mount Pleasant police have announced 2 days of traffic safety checkpoints aimed at minimizing reckless driving. The checkpoints are throughout the overnight hours tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow's checkpoints begin at Highway 41 near Highway 17 from 11 to 11:45 p.m., Long Point Road and Bell Point Drive from midnight to 12:45 a.m., and then Rifle Range Road right near the Isle of Palms connector from 1 to 1:45 a.m. 3 more checkpoints will be posted at intersections throughout Saturday night. The checkpoint areas are chosen based on the high number of crashes and DUI arrests near those locations. Drivers, be aware of a lane closure for an emergency bridge deck repair in Dorchester County. SCDOT has implemented an immediate closure of the eastbound on-ramp from to I-26 at exit 177. The outside travel lane will be closed as the repairs are made, but officials say a travel lane will remain open during the repairs. The timeline on this project depends on weather and traffic conditions. Drivers are asked to use caution when traveling through this area and stay aware of the road signs posted marking detours. Local elections are here and early voting is happening now, and Election Day is on Tuesday, June 11th. To help answer your voting questions, the Live 5 team has put together a Lowcountry Voter's Guide located on our website with candidate interviews and information on who's running. If you need a ride to the polls on Tuesday, the South Carolina Coalition for Voter Participation is offering free rides to the polls on Election Day. If you or anyone you know needs a ride to cast their ballot, grab your phone or something to write down this number. You can call 843-225-0822. Well, have you noticed the temperatures outside today? First Alert Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh tracking those temperatures for us. And Bill, we could see some record-breaking temps tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was already toasty today.
How about 95 today?
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, and tomorrow the record's 96, so we're going to